Hooters is a wonderful family establishment. And I, for one, am absolutely sick and tired of it being defamed, derided, traduced, and mocked. Used as a tool to stop men being men, used as a tool to stop there being alpha males in our society. Hooters is fantastic.
That was Nick Adams from Australia, who is actually a pretty unsavory figure despite the video you just watched. He wants all American alpha males to take their kids to Hooters instead of drag shows. So he's anti-LGBTQ and also thinks that it would be an important part of child development to send them to a Hooters restaurant, Hooters establishment. Now, let's give you his tweets. By the way, like, what's up with Australians getting involved in our politics and our culture wars?
We should ban it.
You guys have enough going on in Australia. Deal with it there, okay? We don't need to hear from you, Nick Adams, but nonetheless.
Although, by the way, Australians are generally far more progressive than Americans are. And they did a great job of getting their mass shooting problems fixed, and they have a better democracy than we do. But we don't hear from a lot of the progressive Australians.
No, we don't. We only hear from the conservatives.
It's always the right wingers in all the different parts of the world that come out like, oh my God, I want to tell you how much I love Donald Trump for being racist. And let me tell you all the things you guys are doing wrong. And shut it.
Yeah.
But all right, here we go.
All right, so here's Nick Adams in USA. That's his handle on Twitter. If more members of Gen Z had been brought to Hooters as children, I can guarantee we would have had a red wave last night. Big brains, big brains. I am sick and tired of beta males and feminists trying to guilt alpha males out of eating at Hooters.
Who's doing that?
By the way,
is that an epidemic? I don't know.
I'm a patron of Hooters.
I am a storied patron of Hooters.
Their wings are delicious.
I mean, look, you got wings, you've got other things, you've got beer, you've got TVs everywhere, so you're
celebration of owls. I mean,
orange is a very American color, you know, Halloween and the whole thing. Okay, there's a lot to like about Hooters. I have a story about Hooters that proves this guy empirically incorrect. We're gonna get to that in a little bit.
So the rest of that tweet, he kind of gives his game away a little bit. It appears that he and his wife are in a bit of a tiff because he says there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating at Hooters on a weekly basis, even with the family and kids. Dude, work out your issues with your wife. Go to therapy with her, go to counseling with her. But like, we don't need to be in on your drama, okay? Like, she doesn't like you going to Hooters every week. I would be fine with it. I would spend time at home alone and really like savor that alone time. But like, your wife doesn't like it, so work it out with her. We don't need you to somehow like make this stretch of applying your personal drama to American politics. That's the way I feel about this.
Okay, yeah, so a couple of things here. First, notice now for the serious point first. About Florida, they said, oh, the don't say gay bill. Oh, it's not anti-gay. You can actually, you know, it's that we just don't want to sexualize the kids, okay? So now this guy turns around and says, no, we need to sexualize the kids, okay? We just need to sexualize them in a straight direction. Okay, bring them to Hooters and show them women's bodies, etc. He even did that meme with Macaulay Culkin. Here, we can show that one too, it's graphic 7. And it says how gender studies were done back in the 80s, and it has Macaulay Culkin reading a Playboy magazine. So
does he know how Macaulay Culkin turned out?
Well, that's another thing. But first of all, that guy assaulted some people coming into his house pretty seriously. No, seriously. Okay. So apparently you don't mind the sexualizing of children and talking about sexual topics as long as it's straight and not gay. Let's clarify that. And the don't say gay bill actually prevents you from talking about gay people even existing. So that's my serious point. Now, to the Hooters point, he says everybody would vote Republican if they just went as kids. Well, I can disprove that because I took my nephews to Hooters when they were kids. And one of them is named Hassan Biker. and he did not turn out a Republican.
Why? I don't understand.
Very, very, very far from it.
I don't even understand the connection. Why would anyone vote Republican just for going to a Hooters restaurant? Like,
oh, I know the connection in his dumbass mind. He thinks Hooters manly, and then you become straight, not gay, because you saw the hot girls with the outfits, okay? And then if you're straight, you vote Republican, of course, right? Because the others are voting for the Democrats. Although you'd have to put it all in an Australian accent. Okay, and but you think like, wait, that's the most irrational thing I've ever heard. To which I reply, of course, they're right-wingers. Logic not necessary.
The fact that he's so loud about how much he loves going to Hooters, I think his wife should search his phone. That's all I'm saying.
That's all she's saying. She hasn't said anything else.
That's
okay. But look,
seems like he's hiding something.
No, see, that one I give half a pass to, because people sometimes do get in your grill, not leftists or anything like that, but like, so maybe I also left Murat, the other nephew's graduation, a little bit early to go to a Hooters and watch a basketball playoff game. That might have happened.
No, as you should. Okay. As you should. Was it his college graduation?
Yeah, it was. There was 3 ceremonies.
Dude,
there was 3. Dude. I was supposed to go to all 3. No,
they're terrible.
Okay, so I caused him a little bit of personal flack for that, having nothing to do with politics. So I can see why he makes a defense of Hooters. Like, no, it's a perfectly good place to go. What do you mean? I thought you were going to go in this direction. He's having a fight with his wife over going to Hooters, and that's why he's acting out.
No,
like this in public.
That's what I initially said. Yeah. But like his like weird flex, like, oh, I'm an alpha male. I like makes me think you don't like. That's all I'm saying.
No, that part is correct. Minus the Hooters, he has in his.
They feel like sandbags, Remember 40-year-old version?
Yeah, of course. No, the part that leads me to the same conclusion is not the Hooters stuff. It's that in his name on Twitter, I presume, it has in parentheses alpha male.
Yeah,
there it is.
Game over, guys.
Yeah,
game over. Nick. Go see a therapist. It's okay.
It's okay, Nick.
Be who you are. Be your true self. Live your true life.
It's okay.
We accept it. The world around you would accept it. You just have to accept it, Nick. We're looking out for you.
It's okay to have those thoughts. And Nick, who do you think put the thoughts in your head? God did, obviously, right? God can't be wrong. So just think about it. Get some therapy. Make it up to your wife. Maybe take her to a non-Hooters restaurant, and then leave the rest of us alone.
100%.
How's that?
Love it.
Okay, a guy's not exactly an alpha male when he goes into a room and goes, I'm an alpha male. Are you?
He is, it's just the feminists ruined it,
If it wasn't for those darn feminists. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.